Good morning. My name is Daniel, and today I'll be explaining the topic board meetings and its related provisions from Companies Act 2013. In Companies Act 2013, Section 173 and 174 of this Act cover these topics, and I'll be answering questions explained related to those. First, we need to understand what are board meetings. A company's board meeting is a formal gathering of the company's directors organized to debate specific topics and problems and to make decisions, manage the company smoothly in order to reach the intended goals and objectives stated. The meeting can take place at specific times and locations. Now that we understand what a board meeting is, let's understand the quorum required for a board meeting to take place. The quorum of meetings of the company's board of directors should be attended by at least one third of the total number of directors. This total number of directors does not include directors whose places are vacant, or two directors, whichever is greater. The directors' involvement through video conferences or other audiovisual means are also counted in this number. When the number of interested directors is greater than or equal to two-thirds of the total strength of the board of directors, the number of directors who are not interested directors present at the meeting should not be less than two. Now, I mentioned interested director, but what is an interested director? Well, in Section 184 of the Companies Act 2013, a director is said to be interested in a contract or arrangement entered or proposed to be entered into by the company or any corporate body if the director, together with other directors, owns more than 2% of that corporate body's paid up share capital, or he's a promoter, manager, or CEO of that corporate body or firm or other entity if the director is a partner, owner, or member of that firm or other entity. Now, what happens if the number of directors is reduced below the minimum required in the quorum? Then the continuing directors may act only for the purpose of increasing the number of directors fixed by the quorum or to summon a general meeting of the company. They can't act in any other purposes other than these two. Now, what if a quorum is not met in a specific board of directors meeting? Well, then it will be moved on to the next week at the same day, same time, and same place, provided that that day is not a national holiday. If that day is a national holiday, it will take place on the succeeding day, provided that that day is not a national holiday, at the same time and at the same place. Now, how often do meetings have to take place? In Companies Act 2013, Section 173, it says that the first meeting should take place at least within 30 days of the company's first incorporation, and that the company is required to hold at minimum 4 meetings of the board of directors each year, and there should not be more than 120 days between two consecutive meetings. Now, can um, can the board of directors attend meetings through the use of video conferences or through other audiovisual means? The answer is yes. Directors can participate in person, but they can also choose to attend through video conferencing or other audiovisual means. However, they need to be able for recording and identification of the directors, and also recording and preservation of the proceedings of the meeting, together with the date and time, should be able to be recorded. However, there are limits to this, as central government may, through notification, find certain issues that shouldn't be discussed through video conferences and have to be discussed in person. Now, how much of a notice should be given for a board of directors meeting to take place? Each director should have at least a 7-day written notice sent to his address with the business, and it should be made either through hand delivery or post, or can even be made through electronic means. The board of directors can hold a meeting with less notice than this if it's an urgent matter, provided that there's at least one independent director present. Now, in the case of an absence of independent directors from the board, then decisions that are made at the meeting should be communicated to all of the directors in the firm and they can only be final with approval of at least one independent director. Now, what happens if an official fails to relay the message to the board of directors? Well, then all officers will face, all officials in charge of it will face at least a 25,000 rupee fine. Now, how do board meetings, how are they supposed to be held for one-person companies, small companies, and dormant companies? They need to be held at least twice in a year or once in each half of a calendar year. And there needs to be at least a 90-day gap between two of the meetings. Now, in conclusion, the board meeting is a very important aspect of corporate governance as per Companies Act 2013. The act requires that board of directors of a company meet regularly to discuss and make decisions on various matters related to the company's operations and management. Board is responsible for overseeing the management and setting strategic direction of the company, and these meetings provide a platform for the directors to fulfill their responsibilities. Overall, board meetings are extremely crucial for ensuring transparency, accountability, and good governance in the company. I hope now that you understand how board meetings are held, what's the quorum required, and all the necessary provisions related to this. Thank you.
Nice one.
Yes, there's some mistakes I made, but I don't have time to do it again.